Drug crime boss 34-year-old Hassan Hussain can either be described as a genius or a silly man after the dangerous dealer had used a Toyota Yaris as a central hub for his dealing operation on a commercial scale that ran from morning to night 24/7, 7 days a week. Police say Hassan had commanded a gang of at least 6 men: Mohammed Shah Ahmed, Ali Akbar Azam, Waqas ullah, Nasir Ali, Shakar Ali, Hassan Hussain as well. The gang operated out of an ordinary run-of-the-mill red Toyota Yaris that remained parked in a car park in Bury, Greater Manchester. The car park was specifically chosen by Hassan Hussain because he could see the car park from his home address on South Bank Road. Between January and June 2023, Hassan gave every member access to the Toyota. The men would either pick up large quantities of H or white or deposit money or leave messages for each other if there were any problems or issues with other dealers in the Greater Manchester area. That's also where the burner phone was kept. Police were first alerted to Hassan and his men after members of the public described men entering and leaving a car that people assumed had been abandoned. It quickly became apparent that some sort of criminal activity was being committed, and Operation Tagula was then started. Greater Manchester Police then instructed a covert operation where plainclothes officers were put in the area to record Hassan's men entering the car and to try and establish what was going on and their dealings. Kilos of Class A gear like white and H was recorded being put into the car or taken out of the car, or people getting access to the mobile phone. Police then built a case on each member of the gang to establish their roles. In the next step of the operation, in June of 2023, a team of police officers executed arrests on the gang. They were Mohammed, Ali, Waqas, Nasir and other members, including Assam. Each member was arrested at roughly the same time in a bid to stop the gang from sending messages to each other or for them to flee or destroy vital evidence. During the early morning raids, police retrieved £50,000 in cash. Forensics showed that the money had been in contact with White or H. Police also took mobile phones, scales, cling film, pressers, Vulcan agents, as well as bats and blades that would be used to protect their operation. When police checked through the phones, it showed that Hassan and his men were running the ace line. In a 5-month period, the burner phone that was later retrieved had sent 38,000 plus messages to its customers and associates. 12,000 messages were sent back to the ace line. Over 6,500 calls were made from that phone and 23,000 upward calls were incoming. Hassan Hussain was careful, however, not to be involved in the day-to-day running of the operation, despite the fact that he was seeing it with his own eyes. Now, the operation netted more than £500,000 estimate, and that was thanks to Hassan's cunningness. He was always around to see if there was a problem and deal with it and ensure his men were following direct orders. The burner phone was regularly stored in a Toyota Yaris in a car park on South Bank in Bury. Hassan Hussain's brother, Hassan Hussain, was his right-hand man and an enforcer, and they both lived on the same road where the car was parked. Police retrieved evidence that showed that the ace line was collected from the Toyota in the early hours of each morning by whoever was in charge of the day shift. After the shift ended or shift rotation began, phone was then transferred directly to the night shift person or put back into the car under the supervision of either Hassan Hussain or his brother Hassan Hussain. They had to witness the exchange from a distance. And in May 2023, the Toyota Yaris was towed away. Despite the surprise raid, most of the GMs had erased a lot of evidence from their mobile phones. Still, police had evidence that Ali Assam's home was used as a stash house for the gear being sold and the money being collected. Hassan's sister's home was also used as a stash house to collect money and weigh the product and count it too. DNA such as fingerprints were all over the product and the money, and it showed that Hassan Hussain was the leader of the gang. In court, it was put to the jury that it was believed that Hassan Hussain was responsible for putting over 6 kilos of white and H on the streets of Bury and other areas of Greater Manchester, and he had profited to the tune of more than £514,350. That's an estimate. Police believe it could well be higher. In total, the Greater Manchester gang was jailed for a total of 56 years. The judge gave Hassan Hussain credit for being well organised in order to distribute a considerable amount of White and H across Greater Manchester. Of those 56 shares, Hassan Hussain, who is from South Bank Road in Bury, was jailed for 17 years. His brother, Hassan Hussain, who is from the same street and area, was jailed for 10 years. The gang leader made a conscious decision to take a risk by becoming a dealer, and it paid off considerably for a certain amount of time, but like all good things, it came to an end. Stay safe. Safe.